Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Father, forgive us. Can you have mercy? Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sins, won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Please have mercy on us. Have mercy on us. We repent of our sin, won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Yeah, please, yeah. Forgive us, fight for us, forgive us. Chosen people.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mercy Seat. I am your host, YuNi'YAH, and we're going to have a great time this evening. I do have someone that I want to introduce to you first because it is time for us to learn about someone else that is here on the Female Solution Network. This young lady is going to excite you with what she does, and I want you to hear her and pay attention. So I'm going to first welcome her by presenting her.
You are soaring flight of imagination, saturated in the movable. Removable, no excuses, you're breaking all the rules. You are brew, composed in shea butter, peppermint and honey black soap. Nas lifeline inscribed in palm, unconventional, standing 20 feet tall. You are 1969 in the syncopated. Improvisation to the metronome. You chasse too. You allow your voice to ripen before time signatures expire in measures. You origami chords. You are where 30 shakes hands with adolescents realizing you just hit puberty. Watch as red clay seeps through pores building pyramids past prime. You are prime at 44. All brass, double bass, 2 drummers, 3 electric pianos, and percussionists all saying forget it at once.
So please, I introduce you to Miss Heather Bird. Welcome, sweetheart.
Hi.
How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
But this is what we call 15 minutes of fame. And so we're going to take this time, sweetheart, as we have introduced you to talk about you and your show. And I love your intro. I really do. And so at this point in time, just share with us. First of all, that was beautiful. So what is it that you do and what inspired you to do that?
Oh my goodness. So hi everyone. I am super excited to be here today. Thank you for having me. My name is Heather Bird, and I am an international award-winning editor, writer, CEO of Bird's World Publishing, where we are on a mission to empower 1,000 women of color to write and publish their brilliance so they can turn their message into a movement. I am also an award-winning poet, and so you are hearing one of my poems for the beginning of the podcast, all about our liberation, which we're going to talk a little bit more about.
Wow. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. And let me tell you why I'm so excited about this, because now I'm learning something. So I always ask you guys to come on, and I really don't know much about what you do, because to me, it makes it a lot more exciting. So I'm learning as the people are learning, right? And so I'm excited because I just finished my first book. And yes, I finished the first book, girl. So you just excited me.
You can't just say that.
Yes,
Just let it.
yes. And it's like, wow. So to be able to be in the presence of an award winner, hey, I'm excited to hear about that. So and this is my first book. And then I was actually through a friend of mine ended up doing poetry, just starting
Okay.
poetry. So I'm getting ready right after that to do my first poetry and prayer book. So
Okay.
I'm excited. So what inspired you to writing?
Oh my goodness. I mean, writing has always been a part of my family. My mom is a retired educator. She taught in Chicago public schools for 40 years. And my grandmother was someone who really believed that education was the way out. Education was our way to freedom, right? And so anytime I was bored, my grandmother, I would try to go outside and play. Like, Grandma, I'm bored. Can I go outside and play? She says, no, pick up a book, right? And
Mm.
so I actually wrote my first book. You can't, hold on, see if I do it. Wrote my first book when I was 6.
And that was your picture
Yes,
you
yeah, no,
drew.
this is, I drew this. This
Yes.
is me.
Oh, I hope you
Yes.
guys can see this. This is so inspiring. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I've been reading and writing my entire life, and I've been blessed to be around books my entire life. And so, creating a space where other people have the opportunity to understand the power in their voice and how
Yes.
their voice can create movements, like their messages can create movements, because we need that more right now.
Definitely,
So, yeah.
definitely. I have a very good friend of mine, Sister Michelle, who is also she hosts her show
Mhm.
here as well, and she has stated how important it is, and she's doing a literacy program, and she's going to be
Mm,
talking about that more and more on her shows. So
yeah.
I am so excited
I love it.
about that. And y'all forgive me if I was looking down. I just realized I possibly was looking down at it. So please forgive me if I was doing that. And but when we think about that, that is something that is so crucial right now, so well needed right now in regards to our children reading and writing. And
Yeah.
I remember when, as a little girl, my mother used to always laugh at me, and she would tell me when I got older how I used to walk around with a purse on my shoulder, and I would have a pen and some paper, right?
Come
And
on.
and 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 so she was like, every time I turn around, you was always just writing something, right? Whether it made
Mhm.
sense or not. And so it's so important that we display that and show that our young people do
Yeah,
get the importance of even just expressing yourself, right? So I wrote
absolutely.
my first play um, in 2010,
Whole
and
play?
then I did it again in 2016. So let me ask you, in your writing, do you do plays as well or skits or
So I actually have 2 shows. One of them is called Inheritance: The Stories We Carry, and that is my 40-minute one-woman show. And then I have a show with my partner in rhyme called Her Story of History, which is actually in collaboration with my very first book that I wrote, Mahogany: A Love Letter to Black, which is actually coming up on its 10-year anniversary in
all
about
right,
2 weeks.
congrats.
And so, yeah, I am uh a theater kid adjacent, right? Like, I always give honor to the folks who are full thespians that do the work on a regular basis that we have a chance to come out and see. I was on the outskirts. Like, I took the classes and I was there with them, and I build shows in different ways. But I
Mhm.
love the stage.
Wow. Yes, I do. I love the stage. I love bringing characters to life. I love using real life situations, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on a another series entitled Before and After. And so to me, it's like we need to be able to see ourselves. We need to be able to see what could
Ooh,
I have done
yes,
better? What
yes.
what what does life really look like and what life can really be like if we really displayed that, not so
Yeah.
much of all of the other negativities and things of that nature. So
Mm,
when I think of what you're doing, the inspiration, and how, as you said, that inspiration with you was your mom, education, and
mhm.
then being able to do those things. What would you want to share with someone at this point in time of the importance of writing, expressing yourselves,
Mm.
or whatever it is that they may want to do in that realm?
The first thing that came to mind is it's never too late.
Yep.
One of the things that I wholeheartedly believe in is no matter how old you are, whether you are 7 or 70, starting to write on a regular basis is possible. We work with folks who are between the ages of like 30 and 76 in our group.
Mm.
And so another thing is, one, it's never too late. Second is writing in community can make a difference. It can make the biggest difference because there are days when you might not feel like waking up and writing. There are days when you don't believe in yourself, and to have a community who believes in you and who mirrors back to you your strengths is so important. And so those are the two that pop up. Like, one, it's never too late, and two, writing in community, a positive, healthy community is possible. And if you want to start, just pick up the pen and then just start writing. Like,
Just
stream of
start
consciousness
writing.
writing is so important.
Yes. You know what? To show you, and I can be that role model for the moment, right?
Mm.
So come next month, I'll be 60 years old. So I'm 59 and I've done my first book, right?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
have been blessed and honored to be with Michelle Renee, who inspired me just by asking me. She just asked me, she's like, sis, we're getting ready to do poetry, prayer poetry. And
Mm.
could you just bring some poetry? And I just prayed and I'm like, okay, Father, you talking
Yes.
about poetry. Like I never like really did that. And I had a son who loved poetry and he used to write poetry all the time.
Mm.
And so I had that opportunity and it was beautiful to me. And I just find that's my place of comfort anyway, you know.
Yes.
And would you say that that's something that people can do as far as journaling? Because you're journaling, you're writing,
Oh,
because you can
absolutely. That's
turn
the
that into
first thing I
something,
have
right?
people do. Yeah, that's the first thing I have people do when I'm working with them is I tell them to journal. Like, release all of the preconceived notions of what you believe a poem should look like. Just write, because when you're just writing, you have the opportunity to find your voice in your
Uh,
writing without trying to mimic someone else's work, right? And so just having stream of consciousness writing and journaling happening, and from there, there's a process to help discover the poem.
and you also stated that you have a you have a publishing
Publishing
company. Is that
company.
what you said?
Mhm.
Could you
Yep.
tell people about your publishing company and how they can find you and all that other good
Absolutely.
stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So within Birds World Publishing, one of the things that makes us different is that we heal first. A lot of the times you hear we talk about writing all the time, which is really important. But if you're not going through your healing journey, being able to show up on the page as your most authentic self can be a challenge, right? So we heal first, write second, and we build movements with our message third, all in service of our liberation. And so we have programs that help folks all the way from I have an idea to being able to hold the book in their hand. We
Mm.
just celebrated our 3 years of a morning writing program that we've been running since January 5th of 2023. And so we've been meeting Monday through Fridays in the morning from 6:30 a.m. to 7 to write in community with one another to help get our books done. And so there's so much more that's happening in that space. If you actually want to learn more, you can find me at Bluebirds World, BLUBYRDS. I'm sorry, BLUBYRDS. I did that, World, WORLD. Or you could find me at Birds World Publishing. That's Bird with a Y. I will also be at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair this Sunday, running an entire activation within that book fair from noon to 4. So go ahead, come check us out. We're going to be doing an in-person open house. We're going to have one of our authors, Lacrissa Granberry, who just published her book in October. She'll be there along with Mallory Raven Ellen Backstrom, who she does fairy tales for sun-kissed women. And then I'll be doing a reading and a Q&A. So it's going to be a really beautiful activation. Again, come check out the 40 authors that are going to be 45, 50 authors that are going to
I
be at
did.
the
I mean,
book
it's
fair is
quite a
where.
few.
Yeah. It's gonna
Yeah.
be great.
Yes, it is. I will be there as well. And so, this is a very, very exciting moment. And this is another reason why I am so excited about doing this, because it gives us an opportunity to be able to know who does what, why, and
Yes,
it allows us to be able to connect and collaborate and all of those other things
absolutely.
that we're able to do. And so I really, really, truly thank you so very,
Thank
very much
you.
for coming
Mhm.
on and expressing. And hopefully, maybe we could get Naima to put it up on the screen. So if people want to find you, all as she has stated, whether it is now or later in the show, we will post it and I will make it clear in regards to Heather Bird and being able to look out and see what it is that she does and learn a little bit more about her. But
Yeah.
again, thank you so very much,
Thank
Heather,
you
for
for having
joining
me.
me
Yeah,
with this. I mean, at this time, I really appreciate that.
of
And
course.
if nothing else, we'll be talking a little
Oh
bit
yes, because
more.
you got a whole manuscript done, my dear.
Oh,
I
manuscript,
love
yes.
it.
And I have other material too. So I have my editor
Okay,
and everything, but other things, but we'll talk. We
we'll
will
talk.
definitely talk, and
Yes,
congratulations on all.
thank
And again,
you.
thank you so very much for
Absolutely,
joining in with me.
absolutely.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to start the show. And again, we just want to give a hands up for Miss Heather as we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, we are back again. I am YuNi'YAH. We are here at Mercy Seat. And before I let Heather go, I do want you to share with everyone one more time how they can find you.
Absolutely. So you can find me on all social media channels under Bird's World. So that's BLUBYRDSWORLD. And that's on all social media platforms. And you can also check me out at Bird's World Publishing to see what we have coming up next and some of our programming. And then you can also catch us at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair this coming Sunday from noon to 4.
All right. Well, again, my sister, thank you so very much. And
Thank
I look
you.
forward to talking to you again. Thank
Yes.
you for
Thank you.
sharing this moment with me. And all is well. And you have a blessed one.
You too. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you, dear. Well, here we are again at United here at Mercy Seat. And if we do have the opportunity, Naima, please, you could post up what Heather's information. I definitely would like to be able to show that to everyone before getting started. So any time you can, just let that be seen. It's so amazing how we can be in certain places, and you never know who does what and who's around and so forth, so on. And I'm so always honored to be able to meet all of the other hosts that is a part of the Female Solution Network. and what they're doing, and so you hear some of their shows and you go through and you be like, what do they do? And so I like to be able to give at least 15 minutes of fame to be able to hear what all of the other hosts that are there and what they're doing. Right before I go into our show tonight is it's not about the blood, or is it? And this is part two. But I want to bring Heather back on because I need to know her days, the days that she comes on in her hours. So I'm going to bring her back into the show so she can share that with us in regards to. So Heather, what are your days and your times?
Yes. So, All About Our Liberation, the podcast airs on the first and third Mondays of the month. And
Okay.
so, our next episode 6 will be airing this coming Monday. So, next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, we run from 7 to 8.
So we're like right behind each other, right?
We are.
So
We
I am the second and fourth
Yep.
Monday of every month, and she's right behind me. So every
Monday
Monday you're tuning
Mondays.
in. And then we have 7 a.m. shows, 7 p.m. shows. You can also go to thefemalesolution.com. You can see all of the other hosts, and you can see when they're coming on and tune into their shows as well. So that hit my mind, and I said, we got to get them to know and understand, when can they see you, girl? When can they join your show? So as she stated, every first
and third.
every first and third Monday, you can join her from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So every Monday, just click into the Female Solution and you're going to be able to get a show. And the beauty of it is it's 7 days a week. So you can always catch a show at the Female Solution Network. So I just wanted to make sure I put that in. Again, thank you so very much. And don't forget, guys, y'all can go to thefemalesolution.com and you can find all of the shows right there and see what is happening. And look, you can be inspired, right? And you never know what you're going to get when you tune in to the Female Solution. So again, thanks again, Heather.
Thank you.
So again, as I was saying, today we're going to be talking about it's not about the blood, or is it? Oftentimes, what do we often do when we are talking about family? When we're talking about family, we say we tight, we like the road dogs, we connected, we're doing things, right? And we find ourselves saying stuff, but sometimes we got to think about what we're saying. So what I want to do is share about blood relationships. Blood relationships do not automatically equal righteousness. We have to say, when we're talking about love, love corrects, love supports, but do we support negativity? Do we support the things that our family do that is wrong? Do we sweep things under the rug and we say and call it okay when things are going in a different direction? As I would often tell individuals, don't tell me you love me and you won't correct me. Don't tell me you love me and you see me doing wrong, but yet and still, you may not say nothing to me, but you'll say something to somebody else. Is that fair? No, it's not. So what should we do when we're talking about family and we're talking about the things when we say blood is thicker than water? Now, for some of us on a spiritual level, we're going to talk about that from a scripture perspective, because, the word is what always keeps us, or should keep us, in alignment. And we often want to justify something. But the one thing that I come to find out, let one of your family members be getting ready to go to jail. We'll see how thick that blood gets. Even though there are some people who would allow themselves to go to jail for something that they didn't even do. For a man, for a woman, your husband, your wife, your family member, however, you would choose to do that. Then I ask the question, is that fair? Is that fair that someone else should suffer for your wrongdoings just because you're family? I want to state and let it be known, never will I ever allow that to be. I have some comments that I want to respond to. And, oh, hey, my love. Well, hello, husband. How are you? My husband always wants to send me just a beautiful, and I'm letting it show up there right now, where he wants to always just say hello to me and support me and inspire me and encourage me as I do what I do. So I just want to say thank you, sweetheart, and I love you as well. We also have the Jeremiah 9. That's Sister Michelle in the house. She said, yeah, for your grandma, I love your first book, and it's so great. You still have it. Beautiful. You know, it's really good to be able to be inspired. Now, I just want to say this for the moment. We don't even have to be family to love one another or to support one another. And as we get ready in a little while to go into scripture, we're going to show that sometimes a friend, as we know the word says, sticks closer than a brother. But before I go any in depth with that, we're going to show Sister Jeremiah, which is Sister Michelle. I love the bookshelf. I love the bookshelves behind you. They look like they are being used. Yeah, they did, didn't you? You see how she knew where to reach, right? She went straight to that book that she wanted. She uses that. She knows it. And Sister Joy says, hello, hey, how are you? And somebody else said, I'll be right back. So we're very we should be very cautious of the things that we say, the things that we do, how we go about things is very important. And let me tell you something. I have seen family members turn their back on each other. I have seen family members go to the ends of the earth, as they would say, for one another. But when we really talk about a family, let's talk about the truth behind being a family. The truth behind being the family, we question ourselves to ask, is blood really truly thicker than water? So I like going to the word, right? And so we're going to go to Proverbs 14:12. And it says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Do you not know and understand that there are sometimes you can support something, and in your supporting it can cause a person to stay in it, and then they feel comfortable in that, and then they continuously do what they do? That's like having someone that is a thief. And instead of you correcting them, instead of you telling them what they shouldn't be doing, you say, well, that's my family, so I'm not going to tell on them. That's my family. I'm not going to turn them in. But if somebody stole from you, you want the police, you want them to do time, you want them to pay you back. It's a whole lot of things that is different when it's your family than it is if it was somebody else's. See how we can't do that because we don't want to correct, because we want to say blood is thicker than water. We want to give an okay to somebody that is in our family, but we want to persecute that person that isn't. It's so important for us to understand that righteous is righteous and unrighteous is unrighteous. Let's go with our next scripture. I hit the wrong one. Proverbs 18:24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And it takes me into when it says, do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. It has nothing to do with family. It has everything to do with what is righteous. And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. I have some friends I can call on at a drop of a hat. And where I may call a family member and they give me about a ton of excuses, I have friends that I'm like, what do you need? No questions. could get up and come, or they're right there. I could call at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can talk. I can express myself, whatever it is that I need to do. I'm able to do that with a friend, whereas with a family member, when that family get it, everybody else gonna get it. Everybody gonna know your business. So how do we call that to be fair? There's no way that if blood is thicker than water, there's no way in the world if I had a sister that my sister should be calling my cousin or calling this person or calling that person, telling them anything about me or my situation. That's why we also have to be very careful of who we talk to and how we give information. Because most family members, baby, bye. If they can, they will throw you under the bus. So is blood thicker than water, or isn't it? Let's go on. Let's go to another one, right? Now, in here, I wanted to be able to show this because this is important. Now, if we say blood is thicker than water, let's think about what the Messiah said. In Matthew 12:48, he said, the word says, but he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother? And who are my brethren? If the Messiah is asking this question, the question is why? Why did he say this? When we accept our family members, talk about our family members, belittle our family members, but then yet and still we say blood is thicker than water. But the Messiah asks, who is my mother? Who is my brother? Right? And then he goes on to say, and he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. And in the final in 50, he says, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So what is he saying? If you're not doing the will, which is meaning you're not living a righteous life, you're not doing the things that you should be doing, I'm not claiming you. You know how most individuals will say that, right? I'm trying to tell y'all, blood ain't as thick as y'all think it is when it comes down to family. Because if I'm doing something that is wrong and you're not correcting me, are you really caring about me? So if the Messiah simply said, who is my mother, my brother? Who is the one? He said, those who do the will of the Father. So if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it, then you should hold me accountable, because that's what love does. Father said, whom he loves, he chastens. So that means who he loves, he disciplines. Love don't let you just get away. Love doesn't sweep it under the rug. Love keeps it real. Love shares and says, YuNi'YAH, you're wrong. YuNi'YAH, you should do. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to beat somebody down and degrade them and come at them in negative ways. I'm just saying, if nothing else, we should love by being real. And if you're covering up or you're holding on to somebody just because they're family and you don't want to hold them accountable for their actions, that's not love. But I'm going to take a break, and we're going to come right on back, and I'm going to pick up where I left off at. And let me say this before I close and go to a commercial break. Love doesn't allow you to fail, and it doesn't agree with your negativity. We'll be right back.
What's up, guys? It's Osada, the host of the Gathering of the Griots podcast, part of the Female Solution. Want you to join us every Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And guess what we do? We interview authors of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. The books, the experiences, the lifestyles, all of it with fervor. So be there right on the Soulful Chicago Book Fair YouTube page or on the Female Solution Facebook page. We look forward to having you and all our literary essence. Peace.
Hello, and we're back here at Mercy Seat. Again, I am your host, YuNi'YAH, and we're talking about it's not about the blood, or is it? It's not about the blood, or is it? See, it's not about the blood in regards to we being sisters or we being brothers or mama and daughter, father or son. That's not the blood. The blood is what was shed at Calvary. The blood is what gave himself so that we can have life. That right there, my dear, is love. That right there, my friend, is real, is reality, is true. Hey sis, we are family, and the powers that be known, that's why they try so hard to keep us divided. I will not take that away. I would not take that away, because real family is an agreement, but in the agreement of righteousness. That's what real unity is. Like, I have my friends, and I tell my friends all the time, hey, you see something that's not right, correct me. With our children, and this is the thing that I see, that is really heartfelt to me. I see our children, and we take up for our children, knowing darn well they wrong. We justify, we make excuses. We do all of those things for our children or loved ones. But can I ask you all something? If we're going to justify their wrong, and then they're getting gunned down, or they're going to jail, why, please tell me, why do you think that they shouldn't? Do we take responsibility for their actions? My husband and I, we were talking a while back, and we were sharing in regards to a young man. I forget what it was that he had did, but he had towed up police cars. It was a lot of things this young man did. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I would want to see our children go to jail. I don't want to see our children being gunned down. I don't want to see none of that. But what I do want to see is parents stepping up and holding the children accountable. I wish I had thought about it when I was doing this show. There are some clips that I have, and these were clips of some little children. And this one little boy, oh my goodness, I wish I could get this. This one little boy actually was lying on his grandmama and telling on himself all at the same time. How in the world he managed that? But he did. He accused his grandma, and the person that was talking to him was then asking him questions like, but didn't you do this, or didn't you do that? And he said, yeah, but grandma this and grandma that. I got to make sure, if nothing else, on my next show, if I don't do nothing but just a 5 minutes or so, I got to pull that up so you guys can see it. Because, and then I'm just going to like kind of bounce on that, because I want you all to be able to know what I'm talking about. But as it was, the little boy, he was young, but he knew how to try to manipulate the situation. Children, just because they're little, don't mean they stupid. They're very intelligent beings. You can ask a 2-year-old child that just had something, and you ask them, why did you pick that up? Or they say, I didn't do that. And you could have seen them with your eyes. You've seen it. You caught them red-handed. I remember one time my son, I wouldn't allow them to have cookies after a certain time, sweets after a certain time. So this one night, he's in the kitchen on top of the refrigerator. He got the cookies. He got his hand in the cookie jar. And I said, Kenna, why are you eating cookies? He looked me dead in my face and said, I'm not stealing no cookies. What? I done caught your hand. Your hand is in the cookie jar. So what am I saying here? We got to catch them when they're young. Discipline them when they're young. I ain't telling nobody to beat the child, like, the discipline of, child abuse. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if we catch them while they're young, we won't be having to make excuses for them when they're older because we want to say blood is thicker than water. Or we're going to say, I'm going down for mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm going 100, as the young people say. I'm going 100 for mine. I'm not going 100 for you and you wrong. I'm going 100 in the other direction because you're going to be held accountable for your actions. Because guess what? If I'm sitting here and I have to, use my own life situations, my real life situations. So I had a son, and in his young state, he wanted some shoes, I guess, and he went into a store and he took the shoes. Came home with the shoes on, looking down at his feet. I know I ain't buy them shoes. I couldn't. I had 4 children. I wasn't going to buy my children no $100 pair of shoes. You understand? I couldn't afford that at that time. So I asked him, where did he get the shoes from? He said, my friend gave them to me. I said, your friend gave them to you? Yeah. Okay. Who is this friend? And do his mother know that he gave you these shoes? Now, I'm telling y'all, in my mind at the time, my thought is, okay, is this somebody in the gang and they're trying to introduce him and they're trying to buy him? And I said, well, where did you get your shoes from? And again, he said, a friend. I said, well, I need to meet this friend. I need to meet his mama because I need to know if she knows that he gave you these shoes, because these are no cheap shoes. And I need to make sure that this ain't something else going on, no gang banging or anything else. So when I pushed the issue for us to go and meet the mama, he had to break down and tell me that he stole the shoes. I said, okay, now where did you steal them from? We went to the store. We went back to the store. I told the man, here are your shoes. Come to find out that this older man could have had a heart attack because he had a bad heart. He's trying to protect his son's store, and he's chasing my child. Now I'm going to tell y'all, I beat that child from the store to the house. Took a break, I beat his behind again. Took another break and whooped his butt again. And I told him, as long as you live, don't you ever go and take anything that don't belong to you. Now, there are some mothers who would be like, oh, okay, it is what it is. He did that, so what? What? No, it's not. So if he gets away with that, he's going to feel as though he could get away with something else and something else. And that small thing could turn into something bigger, And now you're crying and you're whining because your son now, or your daughter, because girls can do it too, are locked up. This is an important topic because one major problem in many families is upholding those we love in their wrong. Real talk. Amen. And we shouldn't. We should not do anything other than hold them accountable. Because if we hold them accountable for their actions, it at least give them something else to think about. Instead of making it okay that what they're doing is justifiable. It's not justifiable. It's not. And if you're not correcting them when they're young, always remember that old ancient spirit is going to get worse as they get older. Now, some could immediately change, right? They could take on a whole different situation. I know someone that did. I won't mention their name because I didn't talk to them before I did the show to announce their name. But my son, I'm able to do that. We talk. So, but this person I won't. But he has shared how his life has changed, and now he's a business owner and he's doing greater things. So can a person change? Yes, they can. But we do not use the blood as a reason to not hold them accountable. I'm going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we're going to finish up in regards to it's not about the blood, or is it? I'll be right back.
Welcome to Master Force with Mushin Suit. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Hello and welcome back. Again, this is, I am YuNi'YAH here at Mercy Seat, and we're talking about, it's not about the blood, or is it? So I wanna do some scriptures. I want to go back to one of the scriptures that we read, which was Matthew 15:12, for whosoever should do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. So we don't want to do anything that is not in the will of the Father. And we know stealing, which is one of the commandments, is not the will of the Father. I also want to go to Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We cannot justify, guys. It is what it is. A thief is a thief. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. Righteous is righteous. And that's the way we need to be able to see things in that manner. Because anything else, if I'm sitting here justifying what my child did and I'm trying to make that okay, and I go back to my child, if I would have sat there and said, oh, that's fine, son, that's okay, you needed them shoes. He really didn't. He had shoes on before he left, and he had on some decent shoes. It may not have been what you want, and he might have wanted some higher class shoes, but you had some shoes that was able to get you from point A to point B, and that's all that was mattering. But to go in to take something away from somebody else, or to even cause them, and like I sat down and talked to my son, I said, you could have caused that man to have a heart attack. Not only then would you have been a thief, you've been a murderer. So we have to hold them accountable. So let's look at Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. You don't want to correct them. They don't get that discipline right away. You don't put things in its right perspective at that moment. Oh, baby, it's going to go on and on and on. If he's stealing out of your purse, you don't think he ain't stealing from somewhere else or somebody else? So if a 2-year-old goes in your purse and takes something out, oh, he's just a baby. He don't know no better. Yeah, he did, because he knew he was going in that wallet to get that purse. That's like my granddaughter. It wasn't something as horrible that she did, but she was like 2 years old. She went upstairs, and when I tell you that child made a complete mess, she made a complete mess. But guess who cleaned it up? She did. I went right on upstairs. I pointed out her mess, and each time I told her, I said, pick that up, put it up, throw that in the garbage can. If you made the mess, you're going to clean up the mess. And that's just like our children, our loved ones, our family, whomever it is. You did it. What was that old adage? And if I don't get it, somebody can put it in the comments. Oh, you do the crime, you do the time. That's it. You do the crime, you do the time. Why? Because you have to be held responsible for your actions, right? So I want to also go to another scripture, which is 1 Timothy 5:22. Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sin. Keep thyself pure. I'm not going down with the ship. I'm not the captain. I did not sign on, nor did I choose to agree to that. You go down, you're going down by yourself. And I'm going to tell you something. I had an experience several years ago. I lost my oldest brother. And he was murdered in my mother's home. And the young lady that murdered my brother, I forgave her. Even when we went to court, I forgave her. I did. She did her time. And my one son, he made a statement. She was on Facebook, and she was speaking about the word, and he made a statement saying, you killed my uncle. And before I can get on Facebook to let her know, look, let me tell you something. You are forgiven. You are forgiven. As a matter of fact, I'm letting it be known now. You are forgiven. I forgave you afterwards because my prayer was that you would get yourself together, that you will come into the relationship of the Most High, and you would do things better and you would be better. That was my prayer. And I meant that. And I still today mean that. If I saw her in the streets, I wouldn't treat her no different. I would show love. And I know most people say, but she killed your brother. She murdered your brother. Yes, she did. And me hating her ain't going to bring my brother back. But me loving her will help her to be able to get to a place of eternal life. She's not my blood, but she can be in the midst of the blood, the great blood, the blood that was shed on Calvary, because that's the blood that matters. Not that we're mother and daughter or sister and brother and all of that. That doesn't matter more so than, and I'm not telling nobody don't love your family. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying if I had to, that's the blood that I want to say is, the lady said one time on the bike, that's running through my veins. This is the blood. That's the way that I want to be able to see things. I want to be able to this, and then I'll see if we have any comments. But Galatians 6 and 7 says, be not deceived. Yah is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's another reason why we want to make sure that our children, our family members understand. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I want you to live. I want you to have eternal life. I don't want to know that you out here gangbanging and shooting people down. And now somebody wants to retaliate and they're shooting you down. And it's all because we don't want to speak up. The first thing many of us want to say is, that's none of my business. I'm not going to say anything. Hey, they grown. They did. No, my children are grown and I'm still going to say something. Now, whether you choose to do it or not, the one thing is you won't be able to say, I didn't tell you so. Because I want to hold you accountable. Because you became an adult doesn't mean I stopped being a mother. Doesn't mean that I stopped having responsibility over your life. The Father still calls us children. He don't say my grown-ups. He said my children. So if he still calls us children, at the end of the day, you're still my child. And I'm still going to hold you accountable. And whatever it is, if you doing what you're not supposed to be doing, don't call me. I'm not giving you no commissary. Is it commissary or commissary? I don't know what it is, but commissary, whatever it is, and you did wrong. Now, if what you did was right, I'm riding die, as they would say. I will make sure I support. I will give you whatever it is you need. I'm there, but not for your wrong. I will pray for you, and I will tell you, get a job while you in there. Do what you got to do. And I'll write you, make sure everything is okay, because I don't want nothing to happen to you. And you make sure you praying that you don't continue to do what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? We have to stay strong for our children. So blood is not thicker than water. And even when the Messiah was pierced, it said it was blood and water. So it just goes to show you that, hey, he rocks where he needs to rock at, right? So I need us to understand the importance of being a support. As I get ready to close, I do want to put up here Sister Beard's information. So as you are seeing it scrolling across the screen, please write that down and get it. And as we're getting ready to come to a close, I'm gonna just let that run at this point in time. As we're getting ready to as we're getting ready to go into our close, I want especially our young people to understand something. Please stop calling our babies stupid. They're not stupid. They're very intelligent. They're so intelligent they know how to run your household, and they don't even pay a bill or nothing else. But they run your household. They tell you what they're gonna do, when they want to do it, how they're gonna do it. But yet and still, they know how to manipulate you. They know how to make you do stuff. They know how to make you go over and beyond for them. And you think that they don't have sense? Oh, they got a whole lot of sense. I got a comment here. Let me see. Let me pull that comment up because I want to see what that comment said. From the Beretta TV Cox Show, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Yeah, don't do it. That's right, baby. Don't do it. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Thank you for that. So, and so I just want you all to know and understand, and I got to share this one little piece. My grandbaby at the time, so I have a whole lot of stories, right, when it comes down to family stuff. So I had one grandbaby, I think he was a year old. He was getting ready to go into 2. And we were having service one day, and he picked up this ball that was on the table. He picked up the ball. Daddy took it from him, put it back on the table. He went back. He picked up the ball. Daddy took it back and put it back on the table. I just sat there and watched. That third time he picked up that ball, his daddy got that ball and put it back on the table. I turned around to him. I said, "You pick that up one more time. I dare you to pick it up one more time." He looked at me with a little smirk smile on his face, looked down there at that ball. He looked back up at me. He said, "I ain't messing with this woman because she crazy." But guess what? He ain't touched that ball no more. So you see what I'm saying? You entertain it, they're going to do it. You do it, they're going to do it. But guess what? There is one person in the room that ain't going to tolerate it, and that is I. If I say no, that's what I mean. No, don't come and ask me. I can take all my nieces, nephews, and grandbabies all at one time and go into a grocery store, and ain't never one of them going to ask me nothing, because I tell them, when we get in here, you stay together. Don't ask me for nothing. If I don't ask you, do you want something? Don't ask me for it. If I say no, it's no. We are not going to compromise. I don't compromise. If I can do it, you can too. So blood is not thicker than water. It's not. It's the blood that keeps us in order, which is the Messiah's blood. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to be right back, and we're going to get ready to close out. I'm so glad that you're joining me. I am YuNi'YAH, and you are here at the Mercy Seat. And guess what? We look forward to seeing you again real soon. Be right back.
Welcome to Master Force with YuNi'YAH. Join us each week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Central, live on Facebook and YouTube on the Female Solution page, as we dive into powerful topics designed to assist you in mastering your life force. Our conversations feature a diverse lineup of experts, all dedicated to your growth. Tune in weekly to discover new ways to elevate your spirit and raise your vibration. And remember, we are ascending.
Thank you all for joining me today here at Mercy Seat. Again, I am your host, YuNi'YAH, and you can join me every Monday, every second and fourth Monday of the month, where you will come and hear the truth on purpose. Thank you for joining me. And again, until next time, have an awesome, wonderful, purposeful life.
Father, forgive us. Can you have mercy? mercy on us. We repent of our sins, won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Please have mercy on us. Please have mercy on us. We repent of our sin, won't do it again. Deliver us from this evil, chosen people. Yeah, please, yeah. Forgive us, fight for us, forgive us. Your chosen people.
Women have. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.